There it goes. Now, there should be, yes.
Yeah, okay.
See, now you have a meter reading the
right.
audio. So
And
we're
just
good.
put it, we'll just, do we have it working on both of us here?
Okay, I got you in the chair.
And
Now you look while I'm sitting. See if you got me.
boy, oh boy. Things you gotta do.
Takes two, right?
Yeah.
Don't move
There
it too
is.
far that way because we'll cut you
No.
out.
No, I got it. We're both in. We're both in.
Okay.
Okay. Hey. Well, here we are. This is the new, either the world according to Gino or the human factor, whatever you like to call it, but we'll call it the human factor. And we're here today with James Hall, who's my helper and producer, and we're going to work on the Constitution. We're going to work on, is there any such thing as religion and state? What is it called?
In schools,
Yeah.
in the state. It's James
Is that-
Hale.
Yeah,
It's
James
not
Hale.
James Hall, but it's all good.
James Hale,
Right.
related to the
Hale clan.
Hale clan that said, who said what was the famous saying of your ancestor?
Oh, Captain Nathan Allen Hale.
Yeah, what did he say?
My only regret
That
was
I-
that I only had one life to give for my country.
I thought that was John Paul Jones.
No, that's
Yeah.
Nathan
Listen,
Allen Hale.
the problem is in this state, this country, they don't know the Constitution. They don't know what's really going on. And I can tell you right now, Biden ran for president 3 times and he never got a percentage of the vote. Where did he get all this all of a sudden is beyond me. And if the country really hated Trump, he had the best policies. Trump may have done somewhat, but he hasn't lied. All he is a womanizer and a partier. I don't see nothing wrong. There's been a lot of presidents that have been womanizers and partiers. I mean, for real. People. I sit here and I'm thinking to myself, why are we going down the tubes? This country should not be going down the tubes as it is. And when they go, there's 43% for Biden, 43% for Trump. Who the hell are the 43%? What are they, living in China? I couldn't help but say that. Because everyone I talk to have no love for the Bidens and no love for this Green Deal. The Green Deal is destroying our country. People don't have the money, and the only people that are paying for it is the middle and the poor. Who can say it better? Because my friend here, James, is very good at the Constitution. So, James, I'd just like to ask you, what is your thought about today? Is there really such thing as state and religion or whatever?
Well, there was a separation of church and state years ago. And since the separation of church and state, they decided that the church had no place in policies. But I feel the same way about requesting and requiring a separation of gay and state, because you can't bring your beliefs into policies and have policies approved by your brother all behind closed doors, like the way that they pass gay marriage amongst each other without taking the vote away from the people. And that's a violation of the Constitution. And when you look at, even with every president who's run for the last 20 years that said, you know, haven't you seen enough of the drug war and legalizing marijuana, and 50 presidents you have in history that admits to either growing and or ingesting marijuana, and none of them seem to be interested in removing it from the Class 1 federal controlled substance list. And I was surprised that Obama didn't do it. I had faith in Obama getting that initiative done. He couldn't do it. Trump couldn't do it. Biden ain't doing it. I did it in Massachusetts 2-3 administrations ago, and you know, they still ain't able to get it done on a federal level. I don't understand that. They brag about all these women in the White House and in D.C., and they ain't doing nothing but worried about protecting their little abortion rights, when instead of, you know, actually getting policies done for the people, you know, they're more worried and focused on themselves, as, you know, they always do.
Trouble is, they're going by the money power. They're not going by the people power. It says we the people. It doesn't say we the government. We the lawyers.
It doesn't say we the Federal Reserve or we the executive legislation branch that writes all these laws behind closed doors either.
Yeah.
It is supposed to be we the people. But the fact is, as long as you have these legislative branches who write laws every year by the thousands behind closed doors, most American people don't even know what the hell the laws are. And then they say ignorance is no excuse for violating the law, when, you know, you'll be damned if you know what half of the laws are until you get a ticket for one of them. And it's just
the trouble
a shady deal.
That's a draw. You know what? And it's just like they come out with the racism thing. Every 4 years, you gotta believe the Democrats are gonna come out with racism. We have no different in this country with any other country. Black people hate white people hate black people. There are black people married to white women. There are black women married to white men. And yet, the only races and everything else is just created by, how do you call it?
Labeling a profile. It's
Yeah,
created by the government.
Yeah,
like
it's
this
all-
year, when the governor, Maura Healey, decided she wanted to hire 40 Latinos, that was all she specified on the social media, Facebook and LinkedIn accounts, and her social media outlets were just saying, we are hiring 40 Latinos. There was no question about merits, experience, backgrounds. It was only just, we are hiring 40 Latinos.
Yeah.
And it's not easy as a disabled white person to sit there and see that that's the way our government is operating.
We're going to hire 60 Italians for spaghetti dinners.
But they've never done this in the history before, just blatantly, oh, we're just going to hire 40 Latinos, or we're just going to hire 40 blacks.
Chicago thinks they're going to solve the illegal things by making all illegal aliens cops. That's really going to go over big.
Right. Well, in Massachusetts, we just passed number 4 in 2022, which was giving them the right to driver's license for identifications and so they could drive. But like I pointed out to Senator Eldridge and the rest of the cronies, like Senator Dancina, that was knocking on doors trying to get people to support it, is that still doesn't mean that when there's a hit and run, that they would actually stop just because they now have a license.
Yeah.
The issue with them not having a license was they were claiming that they would do hit and runs, and a high majority of the hit and runs, and including drinking and drugging while driving, and that is more to blame of why they run, not because they don't have a license. So as an example, earlier this year, in the spring, we had an illegal undocumented person involved in a hit and run, and he wound up leaving his son in the car while he took off on foot. And these are the things that just boggle my mind, because now you just involved your own child in an abandonment case with DCF, compounding your situation, instead of just staying on the scene, taking the blame for what